Misanso Emma Obi Biara Akwaba Bim Ediba in channel so unya subscribe ya mesro na wa subscribe no like it no share video yi edi ama unya no so enye bi ahwe na bibia etimi akoyi edi ama na busua nsama horo na ababeto aponso ana chese na no be ye de ebremu unya subscribe ya nso mesro na wa subscribe no emia notification button no so edi ama na bibia etimi akoyi nsama ekoso e parliament no ano edi yi pa na chese ato forcing na wetimi edi ne ho akwakoto asam enya asem keto akra na nkomotwetwe bi na chese ekoso parliament honom na atofo senkwa ekokan bi wankwa ankoka ne yi na chese sisia no asem no nyina ebu abono ne nyina debate bi na chese omoka ho asem na omo kire se se o read statement wetimi ma nsem statement ni mu no eba clear ma obia aso eti enye se o ba behu mframa afa statement no eso na chese enu ntino atofo senkwa ekokan bi na chese busua asem no akwakwa guja honum na busua mensa wo no yebekọ ni akwakoti nsem ekoso parliament honum ne ba me de aka nina abesos me da wase.
For a Futu and minority leader, you have the floor. The Road and Highways Minister is seated.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for coming. Oftentimes you come here to harass leadership. Today you are here to answer questions.
Honorable Minority Leader, please proceed to ask the question.
Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what necessitated suspension of the National Roads Authority Act 2024, Act 1118, and to provide clarity on the legal basis for such a ministerial action. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. My answer to the respected minority leader. The National Road Authority Act 24, Act 1180, was passed by Parliament and assented to by His Excellency the President on the 31st of July 2024. Subsequently, the staff of the Ghana Highway Authority petitioned the President over the establishment of the National Road Authority and intimated industrial action. The ministry then filed a complaint to the National Labour Commission to halt the industrial action. The National Labour Commission, after hearing the parties, directed that the implementation of the National Road Authority be put on hold and engage in further consultation with the Union of the Ghana Highway Authority and other stakeholders. The ministry is currently in consultation with the Attorney General's Office for advice on the next step.
Yes, any supplementary question?
Rightly so, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, you are well aware that no legislation has ever had 100% acceptance by the general public, particularly the direct stakeholders that are affected by this. Is it your case that the mere action by the stakeholders that you mentioned in petitioning the authorities was compelling enough to make a public declaration of, as you put it, a suspension of a legislation?
Yes, Minister, I have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned earlier, it was the National Labour Commission that directed that the implementation be suspended and further engagement with stakeholders be carried out. I only highlighted that when I became a minister, that the National Labour Commission, to avert unrest at the ministry, directed the suspension whilst we engage further with Ghana Highway Authority particularly. I am not aware that it was just a mere resistance. By the way, Ghana Highway Authority is the most significant in the three entities: highways, urban road, and feeder road. But irrespective of their influence, it is the intention of government to have a peaceful work atmosphere at the ministry for all of them to work harmoniously. And I can guarantee you we are doing all this within the ambit of the law. There was no unilateral decision by government to suspend. Rather, we are just following the advice of the National Labour Commission.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, any further supplementary?
Rightly so, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister tells this House that the suspension was as a result of a directive by the National Labour Commission. By way of a background, I am aware that the National Labour Commission is an adjudicating body. As part of its powers, it can make interim orders when a matter is pending before it. As part of the clarity, is the minister telling this august House that the directive that he refers to is one of such interim orders made by the National Labour Commission? And if so, can he, at the appropriate time, provide a copy of such ruling to this House if it is not immediately available?
Honorable Minister, limit your answer to whether or not you can provide the House the appropriate order. Yes,
Mr. Speaker. Yes, I can provide that to the House. All those that has transpired between the National Labour Commission and the Ministry forms part of documentation forwarded to Attorney General for advice. And once we get the advice on the next step forward, I shall be in the House to update the House accordingly.
Yes, supplementary number 3.
Mr. Speaker, just by way of clarity, Honorable Minister, are you saying that pursuant to the directive or the interim ruling of the Labour Commission, which ruling you complied, you did so without first recourse to the Attorney General? Is that your case?
Well, I didn't say that. What I said was that before I assumed office as a minister, the agencies were already in dispute, and the ministry appeared before National Labour Commission together with the parties. And at that interim ruling, they were directed to suspend implementation and carry out further negotiations to come to an amicable solution. That was not achieved. When I became a minister, I also attempted a number of times, and we couldn't come to an amicable conclusion. That was the reason we are seeking the advice